Hey, Poker Peeps. Thanks for tuning in for a little ICM chopping video. So the other day, I played in the 15th annual Turkey Shoot. That's a home game tournament that my cousin puts on along with his best friend. I've been playing it every year for the past, 10 years. Maybe I might have missed the first 5 years. I've won it once. I've chopped it plenty of times. Now, we had two tables and 17 players. One player didn't show up. So the prize pool was roughly $1,600 or so. Now, we paid out the top 5 places, and I actually went out in 5th place, so I earned $80. Now, I think if we would have settled on a chop prior to us playing out the tournament, I could have walked away with maybe $280, so positive $200, over the $80 I went out with in 5th. If we had an even chop, it would have been $320. I think we each could have paid them out, and I could have walked out with $280. Afterwards, I came home and I decided I wanted to see what the ICM, or what ICM says my chip stack was worth at the time. ICM stands for Independent Chip Model, and that tells you the value of your chip stack in relation to everybody else's chip stacks for the prize pool up for grabs. So the way it worked, thinking back at the time, we didn't add up everybody's chips, but looking at the stacks, I constantly, in a live tournament, I constantly try to keep an idea of roughly the big blinds everybody had. At the time, there were 3 of us short stacks. We were all around 2.5 to 3 big blinds, in that range. There was one medium stack, or I guess the 2 big stack was about 12 and then 9 big blinds, give or take right there. So this is the kind of information that you need in order to determine ICM for your chip stack. So I use icmpoker.com/ICM calculator, and you simply enter in the number of all the numbers. So for the number of players, we had 5 players still in at the tournament. Now, first place paid out $660. This is just rough. I didn't write them down when my cousin mentioned the payouts. I guess I should have, to be completely accurate, but this is pretty darn close. I do know for sure 5th was 80 because that's what I went out in, and 2nd place was 140 because Donnell went out directly after me and earned $140. So those are the payouts right there. So $1,600 total prize pool. Now the stacks, I don't have the chip amounts. I guess I could have calculated the chip amounts, but he had 12 big blinds. Because you can't use decimal places on this, I'll just say 120 big blinds. It doesn't matter as long as I use the same, times everything by 10, right? 25, 25, and 25. So altogether, there was a 28.5 big blinds available at the time. These are the stacks right here of everybody. This is me at the bottom. So let's see what ICM says my chip stack was actually worth. Okay, $230. So if we would have chopped at $280 or just done an even chop at $320, which would have been the best for me as a short stack, I would have walked out with $230. If we would have chopped, I could have made $280. So, I think I just confused that in my head. If we would have done an even chop was $320. The chop that I think would have worked and made everybody happy, I would have made $280. ICM says my chip stack is worth $230. So I really wish we would have chopped. I would have made an extra $200 instead of $80. I would have walked out with $280. But the reason why I'm showing you this right here is to give you an idea. Every time you're in a chopping situation, enter in these numbers real quick. While everybody is over there chatting about the chop, whip out your smartphone and just enter them in real quick on this ICMpoker.com. Find out what your chip stack is worth, and the goal is to come to a conclusion where you actually get a little bit more, at least a little bit more, than ICM says your chip stack is worth. Alrighty, good luck in your next chopping endeavor and just in your next tournament in general. Take care.